Hey everybody, I am in my car in a parking lot. Don't worry, I'm not driving. The people behind me, see if you see cars go by, that's not me moving. I've got those nice woods behind me, so I'm actually right here talking to you guys and answering your questions about sharing social media content. So this is for badass businesses, badass counselors creating badass businesses, and I know we use the word badass a whole lot, right? But that's what we're here to do. We're here to take our existing practice to the next level. If you're an intern, it's about creating a practice. Hey, Amanda, thanks for watching. It's about creating a practice that you can be proud of. And mainly, this is a community that recognizes as a mental health provider, if you start something half-assed, then you're going to go out of business. Your community's going to miss you. You're going to have clients that won't get served. And in Texas, we just can't afford that. You're too important to lose to things like giving up, burning out, getting in trouble, getting fired. You know the drill, right? Hashtag counselors don't quit. So I've got on my super cool glasses today because I'm going to be looking here and I'm going to be looking over at the computer because this month is all about sharing the love, right? And so with all this love sharing comes a lot of confusion, you know, even in the thread where we posted this week, how do you share content? There's a lot of confusion about how to do this easily. And hey, Jessica, good to see you. And how to do this in a way that doesn't make folks click 50 different places. So I'm kind of dividing this up. So if I go to my notes here, so first of all, how do I share content? What's the difference between Facebook profiles and Facebook pages? I know that's kind of basic for everybody. I found out something super cool about podcasts versus YouTube videos. And then another awesome thing is how to stay out of trouble with Google, because if Google puts you in Google jail, that's going to impact your site. So what's our goal? Our goal with sharing content is to increase our ranking. So Jessica posted a few weeks ago, hey Blaine, and you were super helpful this week, might I add, helping folks figure out how to share the love in our Facebook thread. So I appreciate that. Hey Solon Hell, thanks for watching. So Google jail, getting us into the Google rankings. There we are. All right, so let's start with just the basics. How do I share content? If you make your reader do too many things, you will lose them. So what's the easiest way to do this? You're going to go to your website. You're going to copy paste the link. You're going to put it into someone else's email. You're going to put it into a thread, and that way people will go to your website. That's an awesome way to share content. Here's the problem. So what? Right? You've had them click, you've had them go to your website. What are they going to do there? If you don't have a call to action, you've wasted that opportunity. Now you may, at the end of the month, look at all of your Google Analytics and everything's super because you had lots of clicks and you had lots of impressions. But without a clear call to action, your customer / visitor / potential client won't know what to do. They won't know what you want them to do. Now, you guys know, you've been watching this, that I talk about a button so folks can literally schedule a 10-minute consultation with you. Because at the end of the day, you have to think like a potential client, not like the business person, the amazing business person that you are. Hey, Diane, good to see you. So posting a link to your website is not enough unless you also have on your website a call to action. Remember I said some folks, I look at your websites and I don't even see your phone number, right? Now, I want you to do better though. So what's the point of contact? Well, Google does these wonderful magical things called search bots, right? They're little robots. They're going to scan and scrub your site and they're going to look for keywords. So when people are searching for services that have these keywords, you will rise in the Google rankings. Now, I'm doing a little experiment right now. For about 6 months, I purchased Google AdWords and it was pretty successful. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't too bad. So what I've done though is I've paused those Google AdWords campaigns and I'm going to focus on search engine optimization. I promise I'm going to circle this back around to content. So search engine optimization, long and short of it, means I'm going to get my site higher in the rankings by making sure that my content contains the keywords, the search terms that people are looking for. Now, luckily with our site, our badass businesses, our badass counselors, we're all kind of in the same business. But it's easy to go to Google and look for the search terms. You know, you can also just Google counselor, your town, and see who comes up in the first 10 spots. You've got your keywords. Now let's create some content. So your website is a content gold mine, right? Your photographs are a content gold mine. Did you know that you can go into the photographs on your website and actually create something called alt text, alternate text, and you can put keywords in there? Hey, Wayne, thanks for watching. Uh-oh. Amanda, did we lose the feed? I know I may have some very, very bad Wi-Fi because a FedEx truck just parked in front of me. Well, that's okay. I'm going to keep filming, so hopefully folks can keep watching or come back and watch it later. So if you don't have a blog on your website, big mistake, because that's another golden opportunity for content. Now, I believe in repeating messages, because I think if you repeat a message in the same way, okay, good. Thanks, Amanda. That your people need that message. So let's say you are a counselor who specializes with couples, right? So you might have 4 messages, one about apologies, one about forgiveness, one about clear communication and active listening skills, and something about resolving conflict. Well, those 4 messages you can rotate and create tons and tons of blog posts with keywords that people are searching for. All right, so let me break that down for you. You go to Google, you look for keywords. You find out the keywords in your area. 2, you create a section on your website for blog posts. 3, you start writing, right? Discipline yourself to write 600 words every single day. So by every Friday, you've got a decent blog. You go through that blog and you use the little find button, and you find and make sure that you have created a blog that is keyword rich. Now you have a blog that's keyword rich. It's on your website. You ready for it? Because now when you ask folks to share your content, right, you just take a link to that blog, you pop it into our Facebook thread, people click on it, and then they can share it on their Facebook threads, their emails, their newsletters, right? So you've created a link, something to click, and a clear call to action. All right, so that's how you share content. I guess that goes to my next question, which is, okay, so blog shares, how do you get blog shares to get onto social media? This is really more of a back office issue, unfortunately. Uh-oh, sorry about that. How did I turn that around? I swear, sometimes I have these grandma moments. Hold on. Hello. All right. This is a back office. I know a lot of you, I talk to you, I do consultations with you, and I find out that you don't have access to your back office on your website. Stop immediately, hit pause on this website, and go figure out how to access the back office of your website. If you are paying someone to manage the back office of your website, change content, build content for you, you are losing control of the biggest marketing tool that you have. So in the back office of your website, depending on who you use, I use WordPress, I can get a plugin that allows me to share content automatically on social media. So if I post a blog, I just make sure that I click Twitter and Facebook, and boom, there it goes. Instagram is awesome because when you post on Instagram, it automatically, you click a button, it goes to Facebook, so they play nicely. LinkedIn does not play nicely. It doesn't play nicely with anybody. So usually what I have to end up doing with LinkedIn is actually recreating the post, posting it into LinkedIn. So that's kind of cumbersome. But LinkedIn is such an awesome way to build your brand. I recommend it. So this brings me to my next point. One of my researchers on my staff, i.e. my kid, thought it would be good if I talked to you guys about what not to do and what can get you put into Facebook jail. So one of the things we talks about is auto-generated content. So you can buy, I think somebody asked about this on one of our threads, using a program, posting into the program, and then making sure that that program actually shoots the content out to the different outlets. So it shoots it out at the same time to your Facebook or to your Twitter or to your Instagram. Google's not a fan of that. So while it's very, very helpful, and I've used it before, I think I used something called Buffer. It was very helpful, and it's a time saver. At the end of the day, I don't know if Google liked it, and if Google doesn't like it, it's not going to read it, or it'll scan it with its magical robots, and it won't really help you in your search rankings, and that's the problem, right? Ultimately, what we're trying to do is appear in the first 10 rankings or the first page of that Google search. So sharing content is how we make sure we get more content out. If the thing that we're using, the buffer or the whatever, is just doing this auto-generated content, and it ends up penalizing you in some way, that's a problem. Other problems, paid links. So sometimes sites you can pay to have them link. So there, that's getting into kind of an area that I'm not real familiar with, but if you stick to generating content, good content, that's what people share, and that's what Google was designed for. It was designed so people would have access to excellent content. So if you discipline yourself and you're writing your 600 words a day, and then every Friday you end up having this amazing blog, that's awesome. Now what we're doing in February, this Share the Love, is making sure that you make it easy for people to share your amazing content. All right, so we had, go back, sorry, to my list of questions. Here you are. Okay, I'm going to do a real simple one. Just somebody asked me, what's the difference between a Facebook profile and a Facebook page? So I've used both pretty effectively. So Facebook profile is where you go friend everybody. I've shied away from this just because I have found that there are a lot of cloned accounts. And so I don't know if the person I'm requesting or who's requesting me is that real person. And it's not easy to share content. I mean, sure, you can post on your profile and people can share it. So that's the plus, right? It's real easy to hit that share button. Negative side, though, is it's really going to an audience who may or may not be your ideal customer. Facebook page, now you can't have a page without a profile, so if you create your page, a lot of you are posting a link to the page, but it's not showing up. So if you post a link on our Badass page to your Facebook page, and you, the reader, don't see a thumbs up, well, that means you've already liked it. So that's a good thing. That's awesome. Your Facebook magical, creators are going to make sure that when you share a link to your Facebook page in our group, it will have a little thumb, and you click that thumb and you now have your new like. So I highly recommend during this month, if you're going to try to just, get as much traffic as you possibly can, we go for actual engagement with our audience, then share the link to your Facebook page. So get those likes, right? Now you have the audience, now create your content, pump it out to that Facebook page, because what do we have? We have the automatic share button. Share that content. Everybody in February, we are going to commit to sharing content. We're going to share we have, I think, over 400 people in the Badass group now. So imagine if we shared content from all 400 people, right? That content gets pushed out and Google's like, hey, this is cool. People are sharing this person's content. They must be pretty awesome, because you are. Then your site goes up in the rankings. Maybe ratings, I don't know. We'll talk about how to write a review next week, because yes, we are going to start writing reviews. If you have honest information about a person, you should be reviewing them. If you're not being a good friend. All right, so Facebook profiles, you're going to copy paste those links into the thread. Everybody in the Badass community is going to give you a like. You're going to shoot out some content. We're going to go back to your page. We're going to share the content on our pages. Same thing with your blogs and your blog links. right? We talked about that. You've got your blog, you've got your blog post. When you hit publish, it's going to shoot out to all your social media accounts, and we're going to be able to share it on our social media, so Facebook. Okay, had some awesome information this morning about YouTube versus podcast. So I'm kind of on this podcast kick. I think, oh, that'd be so cool. I've got this awesome Yeti microphone at home. I've done some good interviews. How cool would it be to do a podcast? Well, I talked to another badass this morning because I do talk to badasses every day. That's part of my daily routine. I talked to my fellow badass, Cindy Doyle, and I've been talking to her a couple of days about this podcast idea. And she said, I know this month you're doing some stuff with Google and Google rankings and sharing content. She goes, that podcasts don't do anything for Google, right? It doesn't do anything for your SEO. Had no idea. So apparently, in her words, Google and YouTube are getting together and making babies. So YouTube is the place to go. So if you have videos, if you have instructional videos, if you have things that you're able to share, put it into YouTube, add SEO. Remember SEO, search engine optimization, add those keywords to the descriptions for your YouTube videos, and that will link back to your site. If you, by the way, yes, put your site into that YouTube video, and that can be an incoming link. You post your blog, that's going to be an outgoing link to that YouTube video. Then that's going to increase your rankings too, all right? So how did we just talk about YouTube? YouTube has a link. If you go to a YouTube video and it says share, you click the button, you'll see it gives you a link. You can take that link, push it out in your social media. You could put it into your blog as an embedded link, and that's going to help your Google rankings. So you're going to have your blogs talking to your YouTube videos, talking to your social media. And then all of us in the badass group, we're going to go in there, we're going to like it, we're going to share it. If you have comments enabled on your Facebook page or in your blog posts, we can actually comment on that. Let me see, go back. What else? What is the best way to avoid being penalized by Google? All right, so I think I talked about that. Don't repeat your content. I hired somebody once to take my blog posts. Hey, Ashton, thanks for joining. And they would rework it and push it back out to Google. And so basically every one of my blog posts, they would turn into 3. Well, this turned out to be a super bad idea. And you can actually go to my achievebalance.org website and you can see the blogs that this person wrote. They had misspellings. They used archaic terms. It just wasn't easy to read, and at the end of the day, Google didn't like that anyway. So because I'm pushing out the same content, I'm just trying to reword it. Google has an algorithm where they can, count the number of words in your content and decide, 40% of that's copied from something else. So even if you're copying from yourself, it can count against you. How can I begin to understand the Google algorithm to make my website more visible? You know what? I have no idea. I think Udemy has some courses on there where you can start to really dig into this. And you know what? If you're out there and you want to give a course about Google algorithms and AdWords, I am happy to host that for you. I would love to feature you on the website because honestly, they change it a lot. I don't know if anybody truly knows the algorithms for Google. Just how important are tags? Can I get by without them? This is an amazing question. So what are tags? Tags are like keywords. And so you can organize your posts using tags. Tags can also be used in the search terms. It just depends on Google. So tags can be anything like courses, ethics courses, supervision ethics courses, LPC, LMFT. If you're advertising your practice, you put in things in there like couples communication, couples parenting. All of those things can be tags. This will help you organize your content, but it will also help Google find your content. Let me see, what else? Okay, you know what? I think that's about it. I see more people are wanting to know about how to avoid Google and Facebook jail. I think the best way just to avoid the Google and the Facebook jail is to make sure that you're not copying content. It's just like it was in grad school. Don't copy, right? Don't even copy yourself. So copying and pasting your own content over and over again. Now that's different from what I said earlier. Remember I said if you have 4 or 5 messages, that's fine. I know in music, one of the things we know, you can plagiarize a song, but you can't plagiarize chord changes, right? Because there's only 12 chords, right? So everybody, you know, the blues, that's the same chord changes forever and ever. You can't plagiarize that. So with what we're talking about here, if you have 4 to 5 messages that you can rework and rewrite, use for different scenarios and different situations, that's going to be rich blog content that you can use again and again. Copying and pasting the same blogs over and over and over again, that'll either get you into Google jail. I don't think that would penalize you, but definitely is not going to help you in any way. Hey, Rachel, thanks for watching. So as we kind of wrap up, what is our call to action for Texas counselors creating badass businesses? I want everybody who's listening, I want everybody in this group to give us a link in this page, our Badasses Creating Badass Businesses page, that I, the reader, can click and go somewhere where I can do something with that. I want to click it and share it. I want to click it and like it. I want to click it and be able to somehow maybe share it in my Twitter and attribute it to you. Because that's the other piece. If I share your content, it's going to either have your name in it, or I can @ you, use the @ sign. If you have a hashtag that you love, ask me. I'm happy to use it. And that's probably the thing I'm going to leave with you every single Facebook Live this month. Ask for the share. When we talk next week about reviews, it's important that you have the confidence to ask for the review. Now, caveat, I'll talk about this more next week. Things about asking for reviews from clients, that's some sticky ground. We'll cover that more next week. This is about, you can ask for reviews from people who have done business with you, people who have hired you to speak, people who have worked with you if you've done some consulting, if you've done some teaching. Those folks can write reviews for you. And there are lots of places to do that. So what I'd like to leave you with today is, besides all this stuff about answering these questions, and I hope you go back and rewatch this, is to ask for the share. Ask for folks to share your content. Make sure that when you share your content, or when you create content, you give folks something to do when they get there, right? Don't just bring them to your website and then ta-da, and that's it. No, you're not going for impressions. You're going for clicks. You're going for people making appointments, buying your product, okay? So what time is it? 10:53. It's time for me to go meet with my next badass. I already had one breakfast this morning. I'm kind of like a hobbit today. I'm going to do a second breakfast and meet with my next person for my badass second breakfast. So I hope you guys have a great day. This is Dr. Kate Walker and Texas Counselors Creating Badass Businesses, Thursday 30. Remember, I don't have my signs today. # Counselors Don't Quit. Have a great day. Bye, you guys.